Let's say you just finished the painting. You finish his painting, it's beautiful, everything's good, it turned out really nice and everything, and it took you 6 days to make it. It took you 6 days to finish his painting. And all of a sudden someone comes along and stains it. And now the whole painting's messed up. You can't do anything with it. Perhaps you were planning on publishing it, or taking it to a museum to publish it, or put it on display as artwork. But someone has come along and stained it, and now it's messed up. That's the same way with this world in nature. God created this world, humans, male and female, and everything about it, and nature and everything else, and everything about this world, and everything was new and beautiful. But someone came along and stained it, and now everything is a mess. This whole world is a mess. The whole idea of marriage and everything, that's the same thing. Nature, the way God intended for marriage to be in this case, is a mess. It's now become a whole mess because someone decided to stain and pollute this world. The painting, basically, in this case, or this world. So, the question is, why is homosexuality a bad thing? Why is it unnatural? Is it actually unnatural for 2 men and 2 women to marry? Is that unnatural? Before I jump right into it and say yay or nay, let's consider this. You have a dead car battery, and you need a jump. What do you need to jump start a car? Of course, you need jumper cables. And what do jumper cables consist of? They consist of a positive and a negative end. If you hook both of the positives on one battery and both of the negatives on the other, will that work? Probably not. You will need to hook both the positive and the negative on the one battery as well as the other in order to get a spark and then a charge. It says that opposites attract. They have to be an opposite. Opposites attract. So, what would happen if you had, let's say, AA batteries, and all your AA batteries only had a positive or negative ends? Like if all your AA batteries only had positive or negative ends, what would happen? Probably nothing. They probably wouldn't be able to do anything. They'd be useless. The same thing with couples. Only a man and a woman together can procreate or have kids. Just like the jumper cable can create spark energy and give a charge. One man and one woman can procreate and give birth, have kids. A man and a man, or a woman and a woman cannot procreate and have kids. They always have to be two opposites. Just like the jumper cables, you get a positive, a negative, and the two opposites in order to produce power to the battery. So that, just like with procreation. That's just how nature works. God made nature and established laws to govern how certain things should work. That's just the way God made it. That's why God made man and woman. There is a reason why women's bodies are different from men's. Women's bodies are set up for childbirth, whereas men's are not. It will be unnatural for a man to be pregnant, or for a female to have certain parts that a man has. It takes one woman to produce children. Just like it take a jumper cable. It takes a jumper cable with a positive and a negative end to produce power to the battery. Two of the same wouldn't work. Two of the same wouldn't work to produce children or anything else. If you had an iPhone or iPad, you can't charge in your iPhone with another iPhone. You need the right part. You need something called a charger. You need an actual charger. The right part, basically, to charge your iPhone. Because iPhones are a machine. Our bodies are technically machines. And we need the right parts for certain things to function. So in the case of childbearing and giving birth and everything, procreation, they need the right part to go into the right section of the part, whatever. So in the case of the, like I said, you can't charge an iPhone. You can't charge your iPhone with another iPhone. It just wouldn't work. You need an iPhone charger in order to charge up your phone. So, otherwise it wouldn't work. having the ability to procreate is a wonderful thing. It is one of the many gifts of God. Is one of many God's gifts to humans, gifts of God to humans. The reason homosexuality is bad is not just because the Bible says it's bad. It's because relations with people of the same gender can produce all kinds of diseases like AIDS and more. And I'm going to have this information in the description box below. You can check out, because I'm going to post some links and information of this in the description box below to show that. Now, some may argue that it's a gay gene or a gene, or just it's in somebody's genes to be gay, or there's a gay gene. Some may argue that. Okay, well, let's argue that for a minute. Let's just argue that and say that, okay, maybe there is a gay gene. Maybe, people are just born that way. And just, it's in their genes. So let's argue that for a minute. If there's a gay gene, then you'll also have to say that there's a murderer gene. There's a murderer gene, there's a thief gene, there's an adultery gene. Or just in my genes, I have to be a murderer, I have to be a thief because it's just in my genes. I'm no expert on genetics, but I'm pretty sure there's a difference between inheriting a gene and making a choice. Some can be born with brown eyes or blue eyes, or even born with deformities, but people don't choose to have deformities or other bad genes. People don't typically, grow up one day and say one day after they're born, and years after they're born, and decide that, I'm going to just cut off one of my legs, and give myself a deformity, or give myself disable myself somehow, because people are born with disabilities, that they, people are just born, with certain disabilities, deformities or disabilities. But people don't typically say that, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna just save myself one day, right? Like they say that, they decide, because today they might decide that they want to change the gender, or, change from being a boy to being a girl. People don't typically say that they want to change something about their body and to disable themselves, like cut off a leg or blind themselves or something like that. People don't typically say that, they'll do that. That's a choice that they have to make. That is a choice. They're not born, they're born with disabled, either born disabled. That's not a choice, of course. Born with disabilities. That's not a choice, of course. That's a gene problem. That's a gene issue. That is in the genes. But being born with making a choice to change gender or anything like that is a choice. So people can choose to kill or steal, but they're not born a murderer. They can choose to kill or steal, but they're not born a murderer. It's the same with choosing to be gay or be romantically interested in someone of the same gender. It's the same thing. There are two ways some can choose. There are only two ways, or maybe more ways, that some can choose to live a certain lifestyle. One way is their upbringing, what their parents might have taught them, because it all begins, in the household, what the parents taught them. And of course, the other way could be is by culture influence, being influenced by society or by the media, what they watch on TV. And of course, temptation. Of course, we all get tempted to do things we shouldn't do. We all get tempted to do things we shouldn't do. All of us get tempted. It's no different than having thoughts about being with someone you can't have, or thoughts of committing adultery, which of course is thoughts of someone you can't have, having thoughts about, lusting at someone or anything like that. Thoughts of committing adultery. Where do thoughts come from? Or what would inspire them? What would inspire certain thoughts anyway? Satan himself and our society and the media can inspire thoughts, especially thoughts like that, or certain thoughts. Things we may watch on TV or on the internet can arouse bad, unnatural thoughts. Also, things we watch on TV or the internet can also arouse these unnatural thoughts or bad thoughts. This is why we have to really be careful with what we watch or choose to watch on TV or the internet. Now, what about changing one's gender? I just touched on that. Again, it is a tempting thought to try to be something you're not. Just be who you are. Just be who you are, because God made you what you are for a reason. It is a selfish thing, and a bad thing to change into something we were not meant to be. And this kind of stuff to think that if you are born a boy, stay a boy and be a man. If you are born a girl, stay a girl and be a woman. Woman up, man up. And be the best man or woman you can be, of course. And that's God. So is homosexuality a bad thing? Is being gay a bad thing? Yes, it is. So once again, I'm gonna have the links in the description box to link it all the diseases and everything and all the problems and everything that come out of being gay and everything else. Well, I have those links below for you to check out that information. So yes, it's a bad thing. It's unnatural. Why is it a bad thing? It goes against nature and God. There's a reason why the Bible says that being gay is a sin. It's a sin against nature, sin against God. It's because of the various diseases that come with it. Because of the various diseases that come with it. So don't throw away the Bible because you think it's just a list of rules to ruin your fun. You shouldn't throw out the Bible because you see that's just a list of rules to ruin our fun, but rather keep the Bible and use it as a guideline to see what is good for us and what is not. Think of it as a label on a product. If it says there is poison in that product, you wouldn't get it. So read and study the Bible to not only know what is good and what is bad, but also to get to know God as a friend and Father who wants to protect and love you, and you will find that there is more good than bad. You'll find there's a lot more good things than bad. Because there's a God that loves you, wants to protect you, wants to be your friend, and he wants the best for you, like a father, like any parent wants for their child. So, and then why would you want to change genders anyway? It's not easy being a man, of course. I mean, it's not easy. We both have our problems. So, yeah, I mean, men have problems, everything with their bodies. But why would everybody want to change to be a female? Female have probably more problems with their bodies, like child labor and stuff. It's very painful to bear a child. That's painful. It's a painful experience. Also, it can be expensive too. So, I mean, it's expensive, hospital bills and everything. So keep it up with upkeep on the body and everything too. It just, I think women have maybe more problems with their bodies than men. So of course, not to mention the cycles and everything that women have, stuff like that. I mean, why would anybody want to change to be like that? In a way, be a woman and be like that, having cycles and then childbirth and everything else. That painful experience, very painful. I can't even describe it. So, and then why would anybody want to be a man? And because men have problems too. So certain problems they body as well. So yeah. So with that being said, I hope hope you all think about this. This is only information that I'm just putting out there. This information for anybody to take to heart or think about. Just think about it. Just think about it. Go hard about it. What I said. Think about it. Just kind of think on it, meditate on it, and just think about what I said and everything, and just kind of, because it's only information you can consider, and just think about it. Just consider. And so with that being said, I will talk to you guys next time. So hope you all have a wonderful day today, and God bless. And I'll talk to you next time. God bless.